from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning. This world is getting so cold. I wanna keep running like a soldier. Somebody must have touched my soul, cause there ain't no stopping till it's over. I wanna get up out my chair, cause everybody's getting so lazy. Don't want nobody touch my hair, cause a lot of sisters acting too crazy. And them not tough like this, rough like this, and them not nice like this. Some can't take it when you talk true sense. Rather hear the words that glorify nonsense, yes. And I got my brains, and I'm pretty like my mama. I don't wanna pick your brains, I just want the microphone. Take the mask off your face, and look at me face to face. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning. Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning. I wanna share my love, but it's gotta be with someone who's precious. You're never gonna get my love, except unless you're real precious. You're never gonna cramp my style, baby, cause I get a lot of pleasure. And if you wanna test my style, you better have a whole lot of measure, cause I'm a rock back chick. Never tag along and never look back chick. Trendy, a little crazy, intelligently singing rock back chick. No sticks, no stones, or any kind of weapon don't belong here. I don't wanna break no bones, I just want a microphone. Take the mask off your face, and look at me face to face. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning. Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning, good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
To act a little bit more good here.
Good morning,
Huh? What's that?
Alright. 6 minutes?
Too much time.
I just want the microphone. Morning. I just want the microphone.
I'll tell you real time.
Morning.
By the time we're done, I'm not tracks.
Take the mask off your face.
No, not by your
and look at me face to face. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning. Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning. This world is getting so cold. I wanna keep running like a soldier. Somebody must have touched my soul, cause there ain't no stopping till it's over. I wanna get up out my chair, cause everybody's getting so lazy. Don't want nobody touch my hair, cause a lot of sisters acting too crazy. And them not tough like this, rough like this, and them not nice like this. Some can't take it when you talk true sense. Rather hear the words that glorify nonsense, yes. And I got my brains, and I'm pretty like my mama. I don't wanna pick your brains, I just want the microphone. Take the mask off your face, and look at me face to face. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning. Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning.
Ah, Jesus.
Put a smile on your face When you're moving from place to place, place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Anybody name the name Chavez? Okay?
I think that was the middle name.
After that, I'm here.
All you surely want to ask. All you surely want to ask me that on here.
Candace. That's why my family calls me Candy. Nice middle name like Candace. I don't look like a Candy. Yeah. But you know Trinidad already, they don't ever call it by your name. It's Candy. You come by here with some of the found out when he was so my daddy and he found out my name was Candy. Daddy was something Candy. And he called on air to say, good morning to you, Candy. And he was here.
Chavez. All you surely want to ask me that on here.
Say that.
Jude. My father. So my father wanted to name me Jude Jr.
And Mom said no.
Jude Skeet Jr. Mommy said no, so the compromise was Julian Jude Skeet.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place, place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning, viewers, and welcome to the Tobago Updates morning show. It is Wednesday, the 24th of November 2021, and we are coming to you live from the Port Mall in Scarborough. I'm Julian Skeet here this morning with you.
And I am Rhea Richardson George. Remember, this is the day that the Lord has made, and we will rejoice and be glad in it. It is a beautiful Wednesday morning. Julian, I'm counting the days because in my estimation, we're talking about a week and a half to go for the upcoming teacher elections.
All right, so definitely we are looking towards December the 6th. December the 6th, Tobago House of Assembly elections coming up, folks, within the Tobago space here. We have been hearing much talk in the campaign and along the campaign trail. We've been hearing from the PDP, we've been hearing from the PNM, we've been hearing from the IDA, we've been hearing from the UTP. And you know what's very interesting, Rhea, what's very interesting in the discourse is that quite naturally, all of the persons seem to be speaking and having that conversation regarding who is not telling the truth and who is telling the truth. And I find that to be very interesting because now we need to look for ways and means to be able to verify, because each party is now questioning the other party when they put forward information. One party puts forward plans, another one says they found it on Google. Then the other party says, I can't believe that is what they're saying about the plans that we have, and they put out information to question that and to challenge it and so on. Another party speaks about jobs and employment. The other party say they got that plan from us.
While another party is talking about middle names.
Julian, what was your middle name? Mine is Candace. You're Jude?
Proudly,
I'm Candace.
Proudly Julian Jude Skeet. And I want to say that there may be other Judes out there, but none like me.
That's right.
There may be others out there. So whatever your name is, there may be others out there, but
not
none
like you. That's
none
right.
Like you, none like you. You are unique. And this morning, Rhea, we got to make sure. Did I get your middle name, Rhea?
It's Candace. I am Rhea Richardson. Rhea Candace Richardson George.
Certainly, certainly.
Yes.
But you see, these things are very interesting for me because I
Not
do
Chavez.
not know that these are the things I'm interested on the campaign trail. And I'm just being very frank here.
Yes.
I do not know that these are the things I am interested on because, I mean, you know, your name?
Not your middle name. Your middle name. But I'm saying here, with a week and a half to go, the issues on the ground, and it says, I don't know, it speaks to desperation when you can go to those depths.
Yeah,
all right,
I don't want to see things go to that level.
No.
And you
Keep
see, this,
focused on the issues.
Yeah, and this reiterates the call that we have been making as the Tobago Updates morning show. There is the need for a debate. There is the need for a debate where you are forced to speak to the issues.
That's right.
You do not have time in your 1 or your 2 or your 3 minute response. You can choose whether you waste that responding with trivial matters.
That's right.
Or whether you speak to issues. So, you know, we really want to continue to discourage that kind of thing.
Exactly.
On the campaign trail. I just find that too much time is being spent trying to bad talk, trying to make someone else look badly. So let's hope that there is some kind of improvement. But as you said, we are mere days heading towards the election, and I suppose that anything is possible. We have also had the challenge where persons have reached out to me, indicating that I'm seeing all the other parties and not seeing enough of the PNM on this Tobago Update show.
And I think it's
important to clarify
that's right.
that Tobago Updates is open for appearances by all candidates and all political parties. Parties have made their, of course, their paid appearances, etc. So it's open to all political parties. We want to make that abundantly clear. So when you would have seen the benefit of PNM representatives, PDP representatives, IDA representatives, and counting, we are open to all. I want to make that abundantly clear. So it might be in your best interest to speak to your party and ask why you are not seeing them on the Tobago Updates morning show.
Or not seeing them as often.
As often.
On the Tobago morning show, Tobago Updates morning show. All right, so what else is happening in the Tobago space this morning, Julian?
I want to make sure that I capture some birthdays before we run out of time.
That's right.
Right? Because, then they're going to be
and
telling us
that you're within your 30 seconds.
So this morning, sending birthday shout-outs to Keola Duke. Some may know her by another name, but we're going to go by the lineup I'm seeing here this morning. Keola Duke, Gwendolyn Daniel, and Richard Marcel. Good morning and happy birthday from the Tobago Updates morning show. Viewers, who do we have on the lineup this morning, Rhea?
Well, coming up on the program, I'm really excited because we've got Mr. Ho Choi Charles, former Chief Secretary of the Tobago House of Assembly. He's going to be joining us a little bit, just after the break.
And then we go to this morning, Dr. Faith B. Israel, Assemblyman Faith B. Israel and PDP candidate for Bell Garden, Glamorgan.
And wrapping us up this morning, we are chatting with Jason Clark and Peter and Anne-Marie Brimacombe. We should have had them on the program yesterday, but we had some technical difficulties. So they're going to be on with us this morning. So we're looking forward to that.
Certainly. So viewers, at this point, we want to continue to encourage you to share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.
Whatever you need, whenever you need it, anywhere in Tobago with Tobago. Your meals, medication, groceries, and shopping, all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tobago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO, and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tapogo.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tobago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tobago's at your service.
We party till we drop down there. With a lot of pretty girls down there. Down in Tobago.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Morning. Viewers, welcome back to the Tobago Updates Morning Show. We are chatting this morning with Mr. Ho Choi Charles, the former one of the former chief secretaries of the Tobago House of Assembly. He's also the political leader of One Tobago Voice. Good morning and welcome to you, Mr. Charles.
Good morning, Ria.
It is a pleasure to have you on Tobago Updates this morning.
And it's so easy to just say first chief rather than one of the.
Let's go with first chief.
The first chief secretary.
That's right. Give credit where credit is due. Yes.
Yeah, no,
My apologies.
That's all you need to say.
My apologies.
No,
My apologies.
You don't have to. Just take note.
Now, Mr. Charles, we're talking elections here. We're talking about the upcoming THA elections scheduled for the 6th of December 2021. It's being described as the mother of all elections. Now, quite recently, you referred to the THA, the January 2021 THA elections, as an act of God, and that until change is made in the Parliament, Tobago will remain at a standstill. Can you explain further for us?
The election is a mockery. This one is also a mockery. And you all know that it's a mockery. And we didn't say that after the elections. You know. We put out the document. We told the people not to go to the polls and vote in that election.
And you're saying the same thing around. In fact, you are encouraging the people of Tobago to not go out and vote. Dr. Denise Soifad Angus is calling you out on it, saying, you know...
They don't have any... They don't understand the politics. They don't understand governance. They don't understand politics. And I say that with all due respect to all of them. They don't know. We are not like Trinidad or Grenada or so where we have independence. We are under colonial rule, Trinidad colonial rule. And we are looking for our freedom so that we could be able to develop Tobago in a particular way. All our power is exercised by Trinidad. And that is what internal self-government that started by Mr. Robinson in 1977 was all about. 44 years, we still have not got that. What is that? We have not got any power in Tobago to do anything. All the decisions are made in Trinidad, you know, by the cabinet. Because the constitution has to be amended to remove that power.
And until such time?
Until such time, we just continue to be agents of Trinidad. And that's the issue. And all of us in Tobago, quickly, Ria, agreed between January, after the 6-6 that you all are talking about, and you all don't even understand that. And I want to say that with love. You all don't even understand it.
Help us to understand this.
But let me finish this point. Let me finish this point. Let me really finish this point. That all of us were having a conversation with the members of parliament in Trinidad, government and everybody, joint select committee and so on, about giving Tobago its self-government. Not so?
Yes.
All of us agreed after the matter went to Parliament in July. All of us agreed. It doesn't make any sense going back to the polls and have an election without fixing the Tobago thing. Prime Minister was on all television stations saying that. All of us, PDP, PNM, all of us, CivilNet joined, every one of us says it does not make any sense going back to the polls now to have any election to deal with any tie. Let's fix the self-government thing and then we go back to the polls one time where we'll have our power. That has not been fixed, you know. It's still before a committee in Parliament, you know.
Right.
And it has not been fixed. But you're going back. I want to finish this point, and it's so important. Don't let us speed this morning. Even though it's 2 items we're dealing with, let's properly deal with it so people are educated.
Okay, go ahead.
Very quickly. I'm not stopping you. It doesn't make sense. We did not fix the matter. It still remains unfixed. Yet we are going to the polls when we all say it does not make any sense doing it. So what are we doing? Involving a census election that has nothing to do with Tobago.
Okay, let me just jump in really quickly.
I stopped there. I stopped.
Okay. So we saw 6-6. We saw 6-6 in January.
Go on.
What if, I mean, because we have a week and a half to go for the elections. This is not going to happen before that time. What if there is a, let's say, a 7-7-1?
I don't know. We're back in the same situation. And that could have been fixed easily, you know. You think we have time to deal with those matters? We had made a proposal, you know. If you have done one thing, and we don't want to go there because it's another conversation, we said, make sure that the chief secretary is elected by the population of Tobago, by the electorate of Tobago. If you have that, you know, you have no nonsense at the call time. Because the chief secretary now will pick the secretaries, not from those elected members. We try to separate, there's a separation of power that we're looking for. You know, separation of power, that the lawmakers must not be the same people who implement the law and must not be the same people who interpret the law. That is why you have lawmakers that pass laws like the parliament, the executive, which is the cabinet, that implement them, and the judiciary that interprets them. If you have those three sets of power in the hands of one person or the same group, it's anarchy. And anarchy does not mean mayhem and lawlessness. It means that you have no higher authority to go to. So if I have all the power to pass a law to sell the area, you can't leave your home to go out. I am the executive, I am going to implement it. And when you challenge me, I in charge of the court, you are dead. That is anarchy. What we run in Trinidad and Tobago that we call a democracy is anarchy. And all we said, make sure we separate the legislature in Tobago from the executive. So the people who are elected, the 15 candidates now, as you see, it was 12. Those are the people who will be passing the laws and making the decisions to Tobago. Then the executive council, with a chief secretary elected by the population, you pick from the 50,000 people in Tobago, the secretaries who will implement that. They can't pass no law. They implement that. Those things and so on. So you have a separation of powers.
Okay.
Follow me well. So you cannot have this nonsense about tie and tie and tie.
Granted. Let's see if we can move a little bit beyond the mockery of this of the elections, as you refer to it, as it pertains to the issues on the ground. What would you say are the issues on the ground? And you're a man around for a number of years, Mr. Charles. Your heart is in the politics of Tobago. What are you seeing on the ground as it relates to PNM? No, wait, you must be seeing something. Yeah, you must be seeing something. As it relates to the issues on the ground, let's start with that. What are some of the issues that you are seeing on the ground? Apart from the issue of autonomy, let's talk about the issues on the ground. That's one on the side. What are some of the other issues on the ground?
Where there's no issue on the ground, there's only one issue Tobago should be involved in.
And you believe that once that is solved, once that is done, Tobago would be fine?
Because Tobago would have its power to make all the decisions regarding whether it's airport, seaport, education, health, everything like that.
So is that the band-aid for everything, every issue?
Why do you think Trinidad and Tobago and every other country in the world went and get from the colonial power the power to make the decision? I was involved in 61, too young. Trinidad and Tobago was under British colonial rule. Both opposition and government went to England and said, hey, when Dr. Williams come back here, you can't stay there and run and tell us where to put a toilet in Trinidad, where to build a school. It doesn't make sense. We have grown of age. That's what Tobago looking for. Other than that, Trinidad will make, and let me just disabuse your mind, and if I clear up this issue, people believe that law is some amazing thing. You know what law is? Law is government decision and the way that decision is to be carried out. That's what law is. So when somebody says you have no authority to pass any law on any matter, whether it's our agriculture or health or something like that, what you are saying is you must not make that decision. I will make it in Trinidad and you implement it, even though it's to your detriment. So that's what lawmaking is.
And you're saying here, again, that there are no issues on the ground except for this one issue.
But of course.
That is the blanket, that is the band-aid, that would...
No band-aid. The solution to your problem.
Okay, the solution to the problem.
It's a band-aid.
So once this is taken care of, everything else will fall into line.
Of course, that is what happens. The people of Tobago will now go to an election and vote for those people who they believe will be able to deliver that new dispensation for them. That is what happens. Okay. That's democracy.
All right, but we're going
to... Anything other than that is nonsense, is mockery.
We're going to take a quick break here. Viewers, Julian is going to be joining Mr. Charles on set just after the break. And we're going to he's going to chat some more about some of the issues. Maybe he'll share those issues with Julian. So stay tuned, and remember, we invite you to share the live, share the live, share the live.
It's the Quartz Black Friday sale. With the best-selling brands, best deals, and best offers all month long. You don't want to miss your chance to save on wow deals. Save on smart TVs, major appliances, furniture, bedroom and dining, with lots more to choose from. Shop today with Quartz Ready Finance and pay nothing for 90 days. Don't miss this Black Friday sales event. Only at Quartz, bringing value home.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
18 a.m. and this is the Tobago Updates morning show coming to you live from the Port Mall in Scarborough. I'm Julian Skeet, and in this segment we continue the conversation with the first Chief Secretary of the Tobago House of Assembly, Mr. Ho Choi Charles. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning.
All right.
Let us make sure that we don't see what other people say. If first Chief Secretary Tobago.
First Chief Secretary of Tobago.
Yeah.
All right. To be very
Prime
specific.
Minister of a Parliament.
Because I think prior to that, if my history is correct, the leadership would have been referred to as the chairman.
Yeah.
Correct. All right, then good.
Well, that all changed. The powers were changed and so on. All the powers given to Tobago changed.
Right. So Mr. Charles, I want to use this opportunity to get a sense from you. And Ria would have started looking at what are the other issues. And you would have indicated clearly there is an issue. There is one issue to be dealt with, and the issue of autonomy. Based on where we are at, Mr. Charles, one would say that if we go the route as suggested of a no-vote campaign, and the majority of the population does not respond to it, it just favors the current administration. And I think that is what Dr. Angus might have been alluding to. What do you say in relation to that?
I'm saying to you, Socrates says, and it is true, whoever sees with their eyes blind. Whoever sees with their eyes blind as a bat. And it's a fact. You see electricity? Can you see it? Can you see electricity? No. It is real. But somebody saw it. And capture it and bring it so that we can have energy and light. You all are seeing with your eyes. Noah didn't see the flood with his two eyes. He's blind. You're blind. But he saw it with something. And I will teach you that this morning. Really serious, about that, He saw it with something. The man who see electricity saw it with something else and capture it and bring it. Noah saw the flood with something else, and then he built an ark to suit. Soon as he was finished, flood came. So the things you see are temporary. You see it with your eye. I'm not seeing it with my eye. I see it with my spirit. They see that with their spirit. Let us try and see with our spirit. What you see on the ground doesn't exist. And I'm telling you, what you're trying to get me to, I'm not an entertainer, brother. An entertainer does something to please the crowd. I don't please the crowd. I please God.
So what are your hopes and
we have one issue, and I'm raising, you raise the matter about Dr. Angus. I'm going to tell you, they don't understand the politics. They don't. And I really say that in love. They just don't understand. And I want to say that to you. Internal self-government is settled by international law. That means that the United Nations, all the countries of the world then agreed that, hey, you see this issue is causing almost all them wars in the world. People are under bondage. We must give them the right to determine the political status and then to pursue the economic and social development. That is set by international law. You don't negotiate that. You negotiate independence. You don't negotiate till government. That is already settled. No. If we have an issue, and that's what I'm trying to teach, oh God, we're trying to teach people, you and everybody else, that once you have an issue before an election, we are not going to the poll because the election is a mock election. It's a mock election. It will not give us our right to determine our own destiny in Tobago, not to break up the nation, but to strengthen it. Once you do that, it means then that people did not go to the poll. Anybody can win. We are going to take the government and the country to the Human Rights Commission of the United Nations for operating in violation of international law. It's the only way the matter could be settled. That's why we on this matter for 44 years, you know. Try every other thing, and I've been involved in all of them from 77 to now. We try this, we try that, we go and link up with another party, we link up with that. And the last thing we leave to do is this, that we tell the government, hey, we're not going to the polls. So we are not going to the polls and vote, and we are declaring to the world that we're not going to the polls and vote because the election would not change anything in Tobago except faces. But nothing will happen. So the question I just wrap up. So when we are finished, we must carry it to the... Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, what I wanted you to clarify, Mr. Charles, you made a point about just over 40 plus years in terms of this struggle. So the question is, if we've been doing this over 40 plus years and we just saw where it is perhaps by divine intervention, the THA came to a halt, so to speak, with 6/6 in January, and then you have had over the last few months efforts to work together to take forward this cry, and it still isn't happening. What is the alternative besides going back to the polls on December 6th?
I am saying to you, my brother, I want you to pay attention deeply to what I'm saying to you. There was no need to go back in the poll because they didn't understand the 6/6 did not understand the Tobago House of Assembly Act. The Act number 40 of 1996, and this election will not change that. It will be that same act that is going to be in operation. Now, they didn't understand it because the Tobago House of Assembly Act, and all of you, and I mean all of you, are operating with a misunderstanding. I am going to give you, before I leave here, Mr. Robinson's address when he inaugurated the assembly, when Mr. London became the chief secretary. He took over from me. You must read that address and study it. When he said, you see this institution, they call it Tobago House of Assembly. It's not like any other representative institution anywhere in the world. It's unique. And they don't understand that. So the Tobago House of Assembly Act does not recognize political parties. Although political parties are the instrument that go out there to contest an election. When you are finished with the THA election, the Assembly Act number 40 does not recognize political parties. That is why there's no other institution like this, you know. That is why all the elected people, you can come from one party, two parties, three parties, all of them elect the chief secretary. All of them elect the deputy. All of them sanction who the secretaries are. You don't have this institution nowhere else in the world. They didn't understand that. Had they understood this, we were not going to be going back to the polls. The self-government thing was going to be fixed. They didn't understand that. They keep talking about who is this and who is that. I met with Mr. Farley. We chatted when we were preparing the joint select committee, and it's only then they now understand. When I said, remember, there was a proposal, you all make a good proposal, that we're going to give you the chief secretary, we're going to give you the presiding officer, we're going to give you the chief secretary, we will take the deputy. I said, why did you go down discussing the whole question of who's going to be secretary for education and health? They agree you're going to get 5, they will take 5, and you will get 4 of the executive council. Why didn't you all agree on that and have the assembly settled? They didn't understand. You know why they believe? That the Secretary for Finance have power. The Secretary for Works. I say, hey, you don't understand the act. What it says is that the Executive Council make all the decisions. You are there. And then the secretaries are the ones to implement those decisions. The Secretary of Finance has no other power beside that. The Secretary for Works can't go and build a road except the Executive Council approve that. And then you are there to make sure it doesn't do anything contrary to that. It's only then they understand where the act says. Had they understood that, we were not going to be going back to the poll to deal with this stupidness, call it mockery.
If it had gone in a different direction. So the question
they don't understand the law.
So the question is, Mr. Charles.
Talk to me.
you are respected and well respected in the Tobago space for your knowledge, your experience, and your understanding, and even your vision and your hopes for where you want to see Tobago go, and as you have said clearly, where Tobago needs to go to empower the population and to empower our people. The question is, Mr. Charles, you have persons who are now vying, and someone has to lead that charge. Who do you have that kind of confidence in to rally the troops? Because let me be clear, I don't mean lead the charge in the sense of person A alone can achieve it or person B, but some person has to stand at the forefront and rally the entire troops to say, Tobago, this is where we are going because this is what we want and this is what we are demanding. From those who have present themselves currently, where does your confidence lie, Mr. Charles?
None, but Brother Keith, I'm trying to give you the foundation of this thing. The vision for Tobago is not my vision, you know. The people at Tobago, we went to the 42 villages in Tobago, you know. The development plan that we wrote, we went to the 40, it's the people's plan, you know. They approved that, you know. So what we were doing in office is to implement what the people say. And that is why energies were never wasted. Rather than they blocking road and protesting that you're doing something that they don't know, they will join with the energy to make sure, because it's their plan. They want to see it succeed. I told him, Mr. Pandey, that in Trinidad. Did I come to that? It's not about any individual, sir. It's about what a country, what we do is that you have a vision for the country, called your national vision for the country. We wrote a 15-year of that. And what you do is that national vision is where everybody said this is what we want to make Tobago what it should be. Then the cycle for the assembly is 4 years, every 4-year term. Out of the people's plan for whether it's a 20-year, which is visionary, which is projection down the road, or you would like it to Tobago 20 years from now, or 15 years, or 30 years from now, you could change as you go along. What you do, if you are 4 years, in your manifesto for 4 years, you will write 4 years of the people's plan in your manifesto. And then the implementation is by annual cycle, the budget cycle. So every year, you take out of the 4-year plan that comes out of the people's 15-year plan or 20-year plan, 1 year, and implement it. That is why we were able to run this place with 200 million and do so much with very little. Not an individual, not what you imagine or what you dream tonight. Or what you think?
But who is going to lead it, Mr. Charles? Somebody has to.
You tell me. The people in Tobago know, you know.
Because at the moment,
Mr. The people in Tobago
excellent.
Know. All I wanted to do, up to now, people don't understand that, you know. You notice what we have done? We move from NER to the platform of truth. You know what is a platform? A platform is a place where everybody can come on. Nobody ever had a political party by that name. You know, all of that had to do with what we are now. And when people didn't understand what the platform means, they think you're joining somebody's party. I said, no, I'm not the leader I want Tobago Voice, you know. I was not the leader also of the platform of truth, you know. Just the chairman. We leave it open so that when people come on board, the people will decide who will lead. We are also going to be there. And then when they didn't understand, I said, well, you can't miss one Tobago Voice. We all agree that we're going to be one Tobago Voice, you know. So that we will speak to get our power from Trinidad. When that power comes to Tobago, you, with your party, go. The other one with his party will go and run it. You have to go and sell that to the population and say, I want to be the one to deliver this thing to the people of Tobago. And let the people decide who they will select to do it.
Excellent, Mr. Charles. And Mr. Charles, whenever I have the opportunity to chat with you, this is an opportunity for me to say good morning, Uncle Kenneth. I know he was in the first lineup of the Ken Jones. Oh. And he always speaks to the fact of how you all were able to do so much with so little back then, and not even a full structure. And in the very first incarnation in terms of really trying to make a difference. So thank you very much, Mr. Charles. We're out of time this morning. And I really want to take this opportunity to thank Mr. Huchoy Charles. And we know certainly this is not going to be the last we are hearing, because he's that man that you go to get a sense of where things have been and you know, to get that interpretation from time to time as to how we move forward based on the laws and the constitution that continue to govern us within the Tobago space. Folks, you've heard it there, and special appreciation and thanks this morning to the first Chief Secretary of Tobago, Mr. Huchoy Charles, for joining us on the Tobago Updates morning show. In this next segment, we go to the good stuff. And this morning, coming from the Mason Hall Secondary School, they're saying meet our Vice Principal, the new lioness in the pride. It isn't always easy to enter a lion's pride and fit in right away. There's usually an adjustment period where the new member has to acclimatize to the new culture and be accepted by the group. That is unless you are Mrs. Stacy Fritz Dates, our current vice principal at Mason Hall Secondary School, acting vice principal. Mrs. Fritz Dates came to Mason Hall High School from Bishop's High School as an appointed dean and was then promoted to vice principal. From day one, they knew that she had a lioness heart. She's passionate and dynamic and so open to sharing not just her amazing skills and talents with students and staff, but also her truly warm and infectious personality. Mrs. Fritz Dates has an undeniable kind of energy, and her light and warmth illuminates the best in each of us and encourages us to accept that we are all capable of excellence. Thank you, Mrs. Fritz Dates, for choosing the pride of the valley. Those who belong confidently and firmly to Mason Hall Secondary. They know that your presence will continue to shine a light of what can be accomplished when you believe that you can. Congratulations again, and I certainly remember my days with Mrs. Stacy Fritz Dates coming out of Bishop's High School. So folks, if you know someone or anything you'd like to be featured on The Good Stuff, remember to email us at info@tobagoupdates.com. That's info@tobagoupdates.com. At this point, viewers, we prepare to go to a break, and we want to remind you, share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be back.
It's a different type of thing down there. And we party till we drop down there. With a lot of pretty girls down there. Down in Tobago.
Whoa! It's the Quartz Black Friday sale. With the best-selling brands, best deals, and best offers all month long, you don't want to miss your chance to save on wow deals. Save on smart TVs, major appliances, furniture, bedroom and dining, with lots more to choose from. Shop today with Quartz Ready Finance and pay nothing for 90 days. Don't miss this Black Friday sales event. Only at Quartz, bringing value home.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Viewers, welcome back to the Tobago Updates Morning Show. We are chatting this morning with Dr. Faith B. Israel. She is the PDP candidate for Belgarden, Glamorgan. And we are talking this morning about, in fact, we're taking an outlook on the elections, the 2021 December elections. Good morning and welcome to you, Dr. Faith.
Good morning, Ria. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. It's a pleasure being here.
Always a pleasure to have you. Dr. Faith, let's jump right into things. What are the, the public seems to believe that from listening to all of the candidates, all of the parties, that the real issues are not being spoken about. We are hearing everything else. We're hearing the picong, we're hearing the old rhetoric. We're just not hearing the issues post-COVID. We're not hearing the issues that matter to the people of Tobago. What say you as it relates to these issues on the ground?
So I would actually push back a little bit on that, because I can attest to the fact that the members on my side have been mandated since even before the election was called to stick to the issues. And if we actually listen carefully to everything that we have been saying when we started with our Wednesday evening workshops, and since we have been on the platform every night for the last week or so, all of our candidates have been mandated, you do not talk stupidness. You are to go up there and speak about bread and butter issues, which is why that is a big part of our theme, because that is what is important. Unfortunately, though, and I would have to jump in the media, what you see as the clips that come out of it, sometimes those are really the little things, the things that the other people say, and it seems as if that is what everybody is speaking about. But I would say categorically that the Progressive Democratic Patriots has been focusing on the bread and butter issues. And if you actually listen carefully, you would hear us speak about those things. As for example, our DPL Farley yesterday spent the entire almost an hour speaking about how we would treat with workers' issues in the Tobago House of Assembly and regularizing workers and that kind of stuff. You may not see that on the media today, but that is what he spent an hour speaking about last night.
All right, and I'm glad that you touched on, and that is one of the bread and butter issues that we're talking about. What are some of the other bread and butter issues on the table?
So because I'm a health expert, that is critical. We now are in the middle of what may be the third or fourth, or heaven knows, the fifth wave of COVID infections in Tobago, and the fact that we need to actually treat with that, given that we still have some of the highest rates of non-communicable diseases. So our healthcare system has been strained with COVID and with everything else that we have been dealing with before COVID. That's definitely a bread and butter issue. I actually know people who are sick and are afraid to go to the hospital. They are missing their clinic dates because they are afraid to go up in the hospital. We are going to have to deal with the ramifications of that for a very long time after. The issue of food security is one that is absolutely critical. I think COVID highlighted the fact that Tobago had been too dependent, or not just COVID, even before that, when we had situations where, the boat didn't come from Trinidad and suddenly we didn't have all of these things on our shelves. That is something that is critical. Tobago needs to be able to feed itself. Even if we're not thinking about marketing externally, we need to ensure that if for whatever reason we are literally marooned on this island, we can take care of ourselves. So that's another critical issue. Infrastructure is one. And I say infrastructure because of where I live, there was a picture of me, I took it a day or two ago, where my hands were stretched out like this, standing behind a pothole, and my hands had not gotten to the two ends of the pothole. And I noticed it only because I had actually seen a minivan actually almost drowned in the pothole. You could tell the drivers were so upset, they were so shocked.
What area this was?
This was in Pembroke. Now, this is my district since January, but the reality is because of the PDP 6 sitting on the outside of the Executive Council, we did not have the resources to say, let's go fix a pothole. As a matter of fact, in some instances, we have been coming together with our districts, with people in our districts, and buying cement and making concrete and pouring into some of these holes is what we've actually been doing for the last couple months to help with this situation, again, because we did not have access to those kinds of things. What else is there? There are so many other issues. Education is one that Tobago has been, we don't like to say it, we don't like to admit it, but Tobago has actually not been performing as well as Tobagonians need to perform. And that starts from the young ones. But when you go to the part of I am an adult, I want to have tertiary education, you recognize that what is happening on the island is not necessarily fulfilling the needs of those on the island. And I have personal experiences with that. I taught at a tertiary education institution in Tobago, and there were programs on the books. And when I saw it on the books, I would say, oh yeah, great, we have this program on the book. Let me go grab students who I know want to study this thing. And then they would call and they would tell them, oh no, we're not doing that in Tobago. We don't have a lecturer for that in Tobago. And then I would actually say, no, hold up. You all didn't ask anybody, because I could promise you within a week I can find a competent lecturer to teach this course. And that is what I actually did. So there was a quick shift while I was there.
You did this
I did this because I knew there were Tobagonians who needed to do those specific courses, and because of their life circumstance, they could not pick up and do those courses in Trinidad. Now, mind you, this was before COVID, where we recognized that things could happen online. Right. And I would personally actually go out because I knew there are Tobagonians who are competent, who are trained in this specific issue. They may not be working in that field right now because there were no jobs in that specific field. But I know this person has a master's in this, you know, or this person has a thing, and I would find them and say, okay, you need to call this school because they are looking for a lecturer and I know you can do it. Let's pull all of this together.
And I'm glad that you raised that issue. Square pegs in round holes, or round pegs in square holes, however we want to switch it around. But persons who are qualified to do the jobs in Tobago who are not being hired. Let's talk to that issue.
Yes, and that is, it's not just persons who are qualified who are not being hired. We actually have people who are qualified and are being hired. Tobagonians with specific degrees. I know, for example, there's one...
And experience.
And experience. There's this one girl, she's a very good friend of mine. Actually, I taught her. She's a lab technician. She is a trained lab technician, and she is packing shells. This is what we're talking about. She's packing grocery shells. This is somebody who has a degree to be a lab technician. That is what we are talking about. So Assemblyman Farley, or DPL Farley, last night again even spoke about the concept of a manpower audit to see, okay, these are the people we have working with the Tobago House of Assembly. These are their actual skills. This is might be where they are placed now, but we definitely need to realign who they are, their technical capacity, with where they are working. That is going to take a little bit of time. It's going to take a little bit of adjusting, but that is actually one of the policies that the Progressive Democratic Patriots plans to implement when we get there, because we need to ensure that the people who we are hiring to do the job are the people who have the technical capacity to do it.
All right. Let's talk a little bit about your boundaries, your boundaries as it relates to your electoral district. How far does your electoral district stretch?
Yeah, so the name of the district, and this is the one thing I have beef with EBC with. One of the things. The name of the district is Belgarden Glamorgan. And if you know country, you would feel that it is Belgarden Village and Glamorgan Village alone. No, 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 no. My district actually starts by the bridge in Goldsboro. Yes.
The bridge.
The bridge on the corner. Just on the corner, because there's a river that runs. So the bound really is the river.
Okay.
So to make it easy, that Goldsboro Bridge.
Yes, that's after Goodwood. So if we explain it to our viewers,
just before Weirdos and Bakery and that kind of thing. Just before there, that is where my bound is on that end. And on the other end, it is Kendall Fab School Junction. So it goes all the way from Goldsboro. So half of the people who live in Goldsboro, because some live on this side, some live on the other side, some of them vote for me. Those who vote in the Pembroke in the Pembroke school, if you are voting in the Pembroke school, then you are in my district.
Right.
And then it goes all the way to Kendall Farm School. So those who voting in the Belgarden Community Center, who used to vote for Mr. Duke before, even though they were voting in Belgarden, that stretch.
Now Kendall, the village of Kendall goes a little bit beyond the farm school. So what happens to those persons who are just after the farm school?
So because that is the bound of those people, most of them, if not all of them, actually vote. It's just a few houses, but they are not on my list. They are on the Roxborough Argyle list. So they would vote in Bay School in Roxborough.
All right, so we have just about a week and a half to go for the elections. Let's talk about what is next. What is happening within this week?
So this week, what we've been doing is all of our candidates of all of the electoral districts have been having nightly meetings. And because of COVID and because I have taken a responsibility to ensure that I do not inherit a COVID nightmare, one of the things we've decided to do is that we've decided to keep all of our all of our meetings.
You do not inherit.
No, because I know that Tobagonians are smart, and I know that Tobagonians will vote for the Progressive Democratic Patriots. And if that happens, then I will be the Secretary for Health. And then I don't want to deal with the nightmare of having a whole COVID outbreak because of elections.
I see.
So I have actually told my team, and I've been arguing with them. Some of them are kind of, and I'm like, no, no, no. This is how it's going to happen, because we will not be getting sick. We will not be responsible for Tobagonians getting sick. So what we've been doing is having our virtual meetings where we are at a single location. We limit the number of people who can come there. We are not having any motorcade or anything like that. We are not going into the districts the way we normally had those street meetings because, again, Tobagonians want to be a part of that, and they were coming. And when they come, that causes the crowding, that causes, you know, some of them may not be wearing their masks properly. We now have to treat with the police and all of that. And we did not want to deal with that. So what we've done is each of the candidates have been told that you need to go, you have been assigned a truck or two or a music van or two. You can go to your district, different times, you pull up on a corner, pull the mic all by yourself so there's no gathering, there's no large crowd.
I did see Mr. Duke yesterday with a team of persons in Lamy.
Yes,
Lamy Road.
and they're doing that. And if you look through Tobago, you will see the candidates doing that, where it's just one person on a mic speaking, and then when we have the meeting, that is your specific meeting, then you focus on your district, we come down to that area, and then that is what we broadcast on social media and on TV and that kind of thing.
All right, well, thank you so much, Dr. Faith, for chatting with us. Just before we go, any parting words for our viewers?
Sure, I would like to just encourage Tobagonians to actually vote on December 6th. Now, I would like to tell you to vote for the PDP, but even if you're not planning to vote for the PDP, I need you all to come out and vote. On December 6th, we all have a single, we are all equals. We all have the right and the responsibility to vote, and I am asking each and every one of you to ensure that you fulfill that mandate. Come out and vote, come out and vote, come out and vote. Don't stay home this time. It is too important for you to stay home. Ensure that you do what you need to do to turn Tobago, to shift Tobago, to transform this island known as Tobago.
All right, well, thank you so much, Dr. Faith B. Israel, for chatting with us, the PDP candidate for the Bell Garden Glamorgan electoral district. But viewers, we've got to take a break, and when we come back, we go to This Day in History. And just to close us off on our program this morning, we will be chatting with Peter and Anne-Marie Brimacombe and Jason Clark on the We Are One, the concert.
It's the Quartz Black Friday sale. With the best-selling brands, best deals, and best offers all month long, you don't want to miss your chance to save on wow deals. Save on smart TVs, major appliances, furniture, bedroom and dining, with lots more to choose from. Shop today with Quartz Ready Finance and pay nothing for 90 days. Don't miss this Black Friday sales event. Only at Quartz, bringing value home.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Did you know that on November 24th, 1980, the first modern-day elections of this country's oldest political institution were held? According to the Elections and Boundaries Commission report on the THA elections, 41 years ago today, the first contemporary Tobago House of Assembly elections were held. Of the 24,141 eligible voters, some 15,990 votes were cast, which was a respectable 66.24% of the electorate. There were 12 open seats representing the districts of Bacalet Mount St. George, Bell Garden Goodwood, Bethel Patience Hill, Buku Lambo, Canaan Bonaccord, Lansumi Speyside, Lescato Golden Lane, Moriah Palatavere, Plymouth Wim, Providence, Mason Hall, Roxborough Delaford, and Scarborough. Ironically, of these districts, the highest voter turnout in that election came from Lansumi Speyside, with 72.04% of their 1,924 electorate, casting their vote. The lowest voter turnout came from the district with the highest number of eligible voters, which was Bacalet Mount St. George, where 61.2% of the electorate cast their vote. The Democratic Action Congress, DAC, won 8 of the 12 seats within People's National Movement, securing 4 seats. The first chairman of the Tobago House of Assembly, as the position was then called, was Arthur Napoleon Raymond Robinson, representing the DAC and being elected in the district of Roxborough, Delaford. This has been This Day in History. My name is Devon Adana. Back to you, Ria.
Hey there, Devon. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
All right. How are things on your end?
Lovely. It's good to be with you guys in studio this morning.
Happy to have you.
Devon, thank you so much for continuing to bring us this information regarding giving us a historical perspective here. As persons say, I didn't even know this. I didn't even know that this happened on this day.
Yes, many people don't. So, I'm committed to it and making sure that you all know what happened on this day in Tobago history.
Excellent, excellent. I see that you have the natural light there. Whatever part of Tobago you are coming to us from. Very beautiful indeed.
Why, thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Devon. Bye-bye. All right.
Yes, so viewers, this is election time.
It is.
And it's always an interesting situation. And I know you were just chatting with Dr. Faith. Mm-hmm. And one really wonders, our health care and our health system has been a challenge for several years, several administrations. And I really look forward to the day when we can get to health care that we can benefit from directly as citizens to the extent to feel comfortable and safe, just as I would if when I'm experiencing a life-threatening situation, in the same manner that I say with confidence, let me go abroad for healthcare.
That's right.
I really pray that Trinidad and Tobago gets to that point where we can say with comfort, let me go up the road for healthcare.
That's right. Let me go to Roxborough for healthcare. All right. So, Julian, on the program next.
We're going to be chatting, for those of you who would have been with us, our loyal viewers. We started a conversation yesterday with Peter and Anne-Marie. I'm not going to venture for the surname just yet.
Brimacombe.
So Peter and Anne-Marie Brimacombe, are you on the line with us? And also Jason Clark, the man on the move in Tobago.
Good morning.
Good morning,
yes,
guys.
Good morning.
You're hearing us today.
We can hear, yes, finally.
Good morning, Jason. Am I hearing you this morning?
Yes, sir. Good morning, and good to see you all.
Jason, we will have to chat about that singing talent. I don't know if you heard me yesterday, but I say I know Jason on the court. I know Jason with sport. I'm not sure that I knew the singing part of Jason with that talent.
It's really good to have you guys. Sorry, Anne-Marie, you were saying?
Absolutely. Jason is one of our soloists for the upcoming show and a fantastic member of REACH.
So tell us about the REACH organization for those who are not familiar.
Well, REACH was started in Tobago. We were there 2010 to 2015 and had the privilege of working there, and we certainly had a wonderful experience, so much that when we came back to Canada, we said we have to try this. And we have, and it's been really successful, and we're so blessed that we could continue during this pandemic, especially. We've learned that we could do virtual. So we have some of our Tobago members that join us weekly for rehearsals, even though it's 11 o'clock at night there.
Okay. All right. Now, Anne-Marie, give us an idea of the mission of REACH. What was the overall goal of the program?
Well, REACH celebrates inclusion and diversity. And when we were in Tobago, it was definitely including the differently abled. Now that we are in Canada, it's expanded, and we are working with diverse communities. So we work with the homeless, We've got a program in the street shelter. We work with refugees and new immigrants. We work with kids. I have a preschool program, which I was doing in Tobago, but here, Music and Movement and Magic with kids of refugees. And then, of course, we work with the differently abled. And it's all, we come together as one.
Through music.
Yeah.
And the performing
arts.
Yeah.
And we come together as one. We are one. And the concert is commemorating the United Nations Day of Persons with Disabilities, which is on December 3rd, and also the
Human Solidarity Day, right?
Human Solidarity Day, but the concert is on December 5th.
Day before THA election, right?
That's right.
to be very specific.
Just before.
Jason, my information is that this is not your first year. Tell us about your experience with this initiative and what motivated you to get involved.
Okay, well, actually, when this Arts Alive was created here in Tobago, I was so excited because seeing that it's an integrated performance company where we have persons with disabilities, with and without disabilities, coming together to showcase their talents. And we always encourage, our students, our persons out there with hidden talents to come to showcase and to highlight, because, International Day of Persons with Disabilities is to really showcase the talents and those hidden abilities of our persons with disabilities. And so I'm always excited because, as we know, back then when I was scouting for talent and inter-department, I wanted to continue in terms of with the entertainment, not only to just guest appear, singing in funerals, beat my drum and teach the recorder, but I wanted to encourage others, and that's why we included students of our Technical Vocational Center for our students with disabilities. So they're always excited. Students from Happy Haven and Tobago School for the Deaf, Speech and Language Impaired. So when all the students come together, and it's like music therapy, and we use music to bring out the best in us. And I would always sing, always beat drum, always play the recorder, always, to show that we can be included at all levels.
Is there an open opportunity, Peter, for persons to still get involved, or you have already worked out the cast for 2021?
I'm sorry, Emery, my hearing not so good. I'm getting old these days. Emery, what was it?
He was asking, is there a chance for others to join the show right now?
Only we've been rehearsing for many months virtually, so the show is pretty well ready to perform and live stream on December 5th. So people can join in terms of seeing the show, either by going on our website, which is westcoastreach.org, and
or just search West Coast Reach.
It is by registration, but it's free. So registration in advance on Eventbrite. If one would search Eventbrite, We Are One 2021, that should come up to allow you to register free as well.
But in the new year, if they check out the website, they can join us. We're regular weekly rehearsals. In January, we'll be starting to work on a new show. So we do 2 shows a year. And we're so pleased because we have other Tobagonians with us too, Esla and Bree from Mount Pleasant, Brianna Crooks.
And Trims from Mason Hall.
Carl and Milka Trim. Yeah. And they're all going to be featured in the show.
Okay. Now remind us again of the time here, Peter and Anne-Marie. Remind us of the time. We know it's the 5th of December, the day before the THA elections. We're bearing that in mind. But what time and how can persons log on?
Okay.
So we're 4 hours difference here. So it would be 6 p.m. your time, and the show would be just over 1 hour.
Okay.
And the best way, I guess, or the easiest way would be to search West Coast Reach Association. And if you get into our website, you can register.
Through there, it shows you how to register.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I love the comment, and if I just go to our viewer online, one has said, I'm always intrigued by this couple. know their names from Art Alive, was blown away attending one of their concerts that featured David Rudder's music in South Africa. Jason, I'm putting you on the spot to tell us why it's important for Tobago to be well represented and to ensure that we come out in our numbers in the virtual space to support the show.
Okay, well, I mean, we want to encourage persons to log in and to view the concert, because not only will you see this handsome face, but you will see other performers from Canada, other performers here from Tobago, and we have some beautiful numbers. I mean, the ABBA soloist and the song that I will lead along with one of our other performers from Canada is Humble and Kind. We have inspirational pieces, Keep Your Head Up, we have This Is Me. So we have all these, and then we have wonderful features where we have persons with disabilities who have been making it, this drummer without any hands. So it will be inspirational and motivational. So members of the public, come on board. We need also persons with disabilities to come and be inspired. And but back to the Humble and Kind. I mean, I just wanted to state, just because it's been before the election, we really wanted to put out there to the politicians and to always be humble and kind no matter what.
An excellent message.
Excellent message.
Lovely message.
Any
Beautiful
closing
message.
words, Peter and Anne-Marie?
We miss Tobago a great deal, and
we got beautiful memories, fond memories, and we're so happy that we could keep the connection. So thank you for
the
giving
virtual,
us
and thank you for the time this morning. Bless you.
Yep.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. A really wonderful couple. In fact, a wonderful threesome there, Peter, Anne-Marie, and Jason. Always a pleasure chatting with those persons. Jason and I, let me just put it out there, Jason, I'm not pimping you out. I'm not pimping you out, but I did mention yesterday that you're still single, and I'm just throwing it out there to the ladies that you're still available. Okay?
Tune in to see that handsome face. I'm using Jason's words.
And we have a 30-year-old son single
pleasure chatting
too.
with you, and really a wonderful couple who, Tobago misses them because they did a lot while they were here. And as I said yesterday, they are about people and music, children and music.
And I think it's really impressive that they have returned to Canada and still remain committed to making that difference here in the Tobago space. And that's the kind of energy we want to ensure we connect with persons with. And we really encourage persons to support. Log on to the website, search for it, ensure you become a part of that concert, and we will see Tobago talent on display. Display.
All right. Well, Julian and viewers, we are leaving it there for today. We want to send a shout out this morning to Lisa Williams Phillips, who is joining us on the live this morning. Lisa, good morning to you, one of our avid supporters. So thank you so much for joining us, and we encourage our viewers this morning, with regards the debate coming up on Friday, send your questions, send your concerns, send it. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to put your questions out there to the leaders for that debate coming up on Friday. So Julian, we say have a great day, stay safe on the roads, and we say wear your mask, sanitize, and socially distance. Bye-bye. See you tomorrow.